Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Wednesday, January 25, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want to access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comment section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Charlotte Hornets vs Chicago Bulls. In Thursday night NBA action, the Chicago Bulls will invade the Spectrum Center to battle the Charlotte Hornets. The Bulls, 22-25, are 6 games below .500 on the road and hold a 1-game lead over Washington for 10th place in the Eastern Conference standings. On Tuesday, Chicago was outscored by 13 points during the fourth quarter of a 116-110 road loss against Indiana. The Charlotte Hornets trailed by as many as 30 points midway through the second quarter as they were run out of the building 128-97 by the Phoenix Suns. Terry Rozier scored 19 points but shot just 7 of 21 from the field as the Hornets are looking at a lost season. It may serve them well to keep LaMelo out of the lineup and perhaps give some time to G League players to gauge what they have for next year. Chicago had won 3 straight before giving up a big lead and losing to Indiana. They are way better than their record shows and certainly better than Charlotte. The Bulls have covered the spread in 7 of 10 games. Our team pick is Chicago Bulls minus 5.5 points. The Bulls and Hornets sit in the middle of the pack with respect to pace of play heading into this Eastern Conference matchup. They are headed in opposite directions, with the Bulls hungry for a potential playoff spot and the Hornets hungry for the top pick in the draft. Chicago is 12th in defensive rating, which is pretty good considering how poorly they have looked at times on that end. I expect Chicago to come out hot here and build a 20-point lead, allowing them to coast the rest of the way. Our total pick is under. The total number has gone under in 4 of their last 5 road games and 5 of their last 7 games overall. Boston Celtics vs New York Knicks. In the first game of a Thursday night NBA on TNT doubleheader, the New York Knicks will travel to TD Garden to take on the Boston Celtics. The Knicks, 26-23, are 4 games above .500 on the road and are looking to make a splash at the NBA trade deadline. On Tuesday, New York snapped a 4-game losing streak with a 105-103 home victory versus Cleveland. The New York Knicks got a much-needed win over a quality opponent as they defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 105-103 Wednesday. Julius Randle had 36 points and 13 rebounds, hitting 8 threes in the contest. Boston was missing Al Horford, Marcus Smart and Malcolm Brogdon, all are questionable heading into this game. Expect Jaylen Brown to be back, but the Celtics do not have their full complement of players, forcing Peyton Pritchard to play big minutes. He is a liability on the defensive end, and Jalen Brunson can capitalize on Marcus Smart being out to get an easy 25 in this game. New York comes in as a dog, but take them to persevere with a big road win. Take the Knicks money line. New York ranks 27th in pace heading into this Eastern Conference showdown with the Celtics. They have been excellent on the glass all year, and although Mitchell Robinson will be out for a while, they are still 4th in rebounding percentage. Both clubs are above average on the defensive side of the ball, and with Boston lacking many of their role players in this game, expect them to slow the game down a bit and allow Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to work in the half-court set. Our total pick is under. The total is set higher than you would expect, considering both clubs are top 10 in offensive rating, but this game will be a grind. Take the under. Brooklyn Nets vs Detroit Pistons. The Thursday NBA schedule will tip off with a matchup between the Detroit Pistons and the Brooklyn Nets from the Barclays Center. The Pistons, 12-37, have lost 4 straight games and own the worst overall record in the Eastern Conference. On Monday, Detroit was torched for 49 points during the first quarter of a 150-130 home loss versus Milwaukee. Although Brooklyn is on a back-to-back, I do like the Nets to win this game and cover the spread. Detroit's defense has been a major problem for them as opponents are getting wide open and shooting well, and against Brooklyn, who is a top 3 shooting team, should lead to a lot of points for the Nets. On no rest, Brooklyn is 4-4 against the spread, but as a road underdog this season, Detroit has struggled to cover the spread as the Pistons are 11-12-2. Meanwhile, in Detroit's last 5 losses, the average margin of defeat is 19.6 points, and the Pistons have been blown out when they lose. I expect Brooklyn to get a ton of open shots and make the Pistons' defense pay, while also defending well to limit Detroit's offense, which has struggled at times. Our team pick is Brooklyn to cover. Although the Brooklyn Nets have the best under record in the NBA at 27-18-1 in hitting the under, I like the over in this matchup. Although the Nets are on a back-to-back, this is a good matchup against Detroit's defense to score a ton of points to help the over hit. In the one game these two teams played, it went for 245 points, while Detroit is 28-21 in hitting the over, which ranks 4th in the NBA. Meanwhile, the Pistons are playing at a pace of 102.6, which ranks 10th, while their defensive efficiency ranks 29th, while Brooklyn is playing at a pace of 100.9, which ranks 17th, while their offensive efficiency ranks 5th. As well, in the Pistons' last 10 games, the games are averaging 242.3 ppg, while Brooklyn's last 10 games are averaging 220.1 ppg. Our total pick is the over here. Houston Rockets vs Cleveland Cavaliers. The Toyota Center will play host to a Thursday night NBA clash between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Houston Rockets. The Cavaliers, 29-20, have lost 15 of their first 24 road games and are currently in 5th place in the Eastern Conference standings. On Tuesday, Cleveland was unable to make the plays down the stretch of a 105-103 road loss against New York. I like the Cleveland Cavaliers to cover the spread here as a road favorite. The Rockets are on a back-to-back and now play one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, in the Cavs, which is a concern for Houston as their offense has struggled this season. This season, Cleveland is 24-22-2 against the spread, while Houston is just 10-10-2 at TS at home. I expect the Rockets to play at a slower pace on defense on the back-to-back, but their defense likely won't be able to contain this potent Cleveland offense. In the Rockets' last 5 losses, the average margin of defeat is 13.6 ppg, while in the Cavs' last 5 wins, the average margin of victory of 8.8 ppg against teams much better than Houston. Take the Cavs to cover the spread. I also like the under in this matchup as Cleveland has a shutdown defense while Houston is on a back-to-back and their offense has struggled this season. This season, the Cavs are 26-23 in hitting the under this season, while the Rockets are 23-24, but on no rest, Houston is 4-3 in hitting the under. Currently, the Cavs are playing at a pace of 96.9, which is the slowest in the NBA, while their defensive efficiency is 107.7, which ranks 2nd. Our total pick is under. The Rockets, meanwhile, play at a pace of 102.3, which ranks 12th, but their offensive efficiency is just 106.1, which is 30th, which is why I like the under, as you have a great defense against a bad offense. Finally, in Cleveland's last 10 games, the games are averaging 221.6 ppg, while Houston's last 10 games are averaging 235.7 ppg, but are now on a back-to-back and playing arguably the best defense in the league. Phoenix Suns vs Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks go back on the road Thursday night to Phoenix, Arizona for a matchup with the Phoenix Suns. Dallas comes into Thursday 1 game above .500 after losing 4 of the last 5, including 2 in a row, following a 1-point loss to the Washington Wizards in their last game. Offensively, Dallas shot the ball extremely well, making 52.8% of their shots and knocked down 10 long balls to score 126 points, but turned the ball over 9 times in the loss. Defensively, Dallas was outmatched as Washington made 50.6% of their shots and 32 free throws to secure the 1-point victory. Dallas has been struggled as they enter a key regular season game on Thursday. The Mavs have lost 5 of their last 6 games. They have lost 4 of their last 5 road games entering Thursday's matchup too. Doncic has been unbelievable, but the Mavs' defense and secondary scoring has let them down. The Suns will most likely return Ayton to the lineup, which will help rebounding and defense of the paint. Phoenix has been playing strong basketball as they have won straight up and covered in 4 games in a row. Our team pick is Phoenix Suns minus 1.5 points. Dallas's poor road record and recent performances make me pick Phoenix easily. The Suns are averaging nearly 120 points per game, and they will reach that mark against a poor Dallas's defense. This game will easily hit the over, as these two teams will rely on their offense for scoring. The Suns are one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league. Our total pick is over 222 points. The over is 5-2 in the Mavericks' last 7 Thursday games. The over is 6-2 in the Suns' last 8 Thursday games. Clippers vs San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs remain in Los Angeles on Thursday and will take on the Clippers. The Spurs took on the Lakers in LA on Wednesday night. San Antonio is 14th in the Western Conference with a 14-33 record. The Spurs have won 2 of their last 10 games and are riding a 2-game losing streak into Los Angeles. Since both of these teams' last played game was against the Lakers, it makes analyzing their relative strength much easier. The Clippers beat them by 18, while the Spurs lost to them by 9. Therefore, by the transitive property, LA will beat San Antonio by 27 points. Alright, maybe it isn't that easy, but I do think the Clippers are set up well to cover minus 12.5 in this matchup. LA's deadly shooting from beyond the arc will give the Spurs a lot of trouble, since they've been the worst team at defending the three in the NBA this season. It's also going to be tough for San Antonio, considering this is the second night of a back-to-back in Los Angeles, arguably the most notorious NBA party city, up there with Miami. Our team pick is Clippers minus 12.5 points. I see a lot of different data points pushing me towards the Clippers covering this one and sweeping the season series against the Spurs. In the last 7 games between the Clippers and the Spurs, the under has hit in 6 of them. San Antonio has seen the total go under in 4 of their last 5 games against teams with winning records. Even better, the under is 10-1 in the Clippers' last 11 home games against teams with road winning percentages under .400. Looking at an even bigger sample size, the law has seen the total go under in 23 of their last 28 games at home. It's been a minute since I've seen such a strong correlation in the NBA. The Clippers actually score less at home games than they do on the road, 106.3 versus 113.8 this season. Our total pick is under 233 points. Part of this is likely tied to the fact that Law plays at the 6th slowest pace in the league. Either way, all signs point to betting the under.